Hey folks, welcome back to Factorio. So I've finished the first two levels of the First Steps campaign, and well, I figure I'll do the third one. So I'm gonna quickly grab some wood. Well, this goes. I could really use some equipment from our crashed ship. If I had enough electricity, I could build a radar to locate the crash site. I have the electricity test set up almost ready. I just need some water from the lake. So let's build our offshore pump, which goes over here. Now this feeds into water into the boilers, and the boilers feed water into the steam engine, and the steam engine, well, powers everything. So I need to put coal in the stupid thing. So there's the boiler. Boiler's producing steam. Steam engines get linked up. Let's get some small power cables. To do that, we need wood. So we've small pole. That's generating coal. The coal's being put out here, so before I do that, I'm quickly going to build a single pipe and move my steam engine ever so slightly so that I can get better coverage with my boiler. Let's make a second pipe as well. One there, one there. So this boiler is heating the water, which is then being used to power the steam engine. And I'm manually inserting coal into that system, which is going to stop as soon as I finish putting these up. So I've got my pump up, coal up, power up. So now I need to start looking at actually producing iron. Oh, 2.7k is not too bad, so I'll stick that one there. And then to feed that all, I also need coal. So I'm going to put that one there and feed my and there are the biters, so my coal's going to go that way. I'm going to pick up that, and then I'm going to turn that around. So that'll be due for the time being. While that's running, I'm actually going to cancel that one because I need a load of stone. And that can go directly into the chest. Why do I need stone? Well, I need stone to make boilers. Use that for making power. So while that's running, what do I need to make a turret? It has not given me the option of making a turret yet. So I'll instead get my steel foundry production underway. Oh, now it lets me replace it. So just too far up there. Right. So I'm going to use use 3 of those starting off. Put down a 4th one, and then I need power, so you can see I'm now generating steel, and I want to do the same for copper, which I need some copper plates. So because I've used it all, I'll make a couple more manually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll leave a gap of 2, 3, and then I'll put down 4. So that's where my copper is going to go. Okay, so I'm producing stone, which is good. I'm producing copper 1 plate. Okay, so this is... I slightly boned myself. Actually, I'm just going to take my mining drill from here and put it down there for copper. So I'm only going to make 2 of these for copper. I should stick power next to that as well. So, while these 2 give me a ton of iron, I could also do with some more copper to get some more coal up. So, I'm not doing this the most efficient way, but there we go. That's been automated. That's partially automated. So that now, what do I need for turrets? Still can't make gun turrets. Oh yeah, I need iron plate and copper plate first. So, while I'm waiting for those to get manufactured, I'll proceed to finish my production loop, even if it's not exactly graceful. So I have plenty of coal, plenty of copper, and now it's giving me the chance to make a SMG, which is lots of steel. Let's make one. There we go. Let's get our power sorted. Q swaps weapons when they have ammo. One more with those. So a ton of copper plates, a ton of steel plate. That's more or less ready. Can I make a turret yet? No, I can't. Still waiting on more. Those. Bundle stars. And of course I'm short on steel plate. So while these are finishing, do that one. That'll work. So copper's running, steel's running. I'll add a second one. Because you need more, a lot more iron than you need steel. Put that one there. Let's get it powered as well. So I have plenty of copper plate, still running low on steel, but that'll be fine in a second. My power production is about to hit peak. So I'm going to put that one there. That's good. So this is running nice and hot. As you can see, I'm finally starting to actually actively get iron plate out. I'm going to make another stack of iron poles. There we go. Now, radars scan their surrounding area, enemy, and gunsmite attacks. So now I can make turrets. So turrets need lots of copper. So next step is, well, make some turrets. Now I figure I don't really need more than 8 turrets. So for 3 more turrets I need a good 60 more iron plate, which at least is coming along nicely. While that's being built in the background, and keep picking these up. Place my first set of turrets over here, and I'll put 5 in there, and 5 in there. I'll come back to that in a second, because I want match up my steel production. And that's secondary. Then I want to start looking at making a ton more copper, and so I can make one more of those. And there's two more. So while that's being finished off, put in 5 more there, 5 more there, have 10 in the third one. That's all good. So, and you can see I'm starting to get a backlog of steel, which is actually good. And that's a winner boo-boo. And then because I want to make a ton of power, I'll do that. And then I'm going to do this. I want 2 pairs of those, and then a massive extra that. I'll make 10 more boilers. Now, and I want to place the second set of turrets. Now, the turrets have a reasonable range. Now, you can't see here, but I'm more or less mapping on my hand what that range is. So, that should get me over by this tree, where I'm placing my second set of turrets. So these have all got 10 in. That was a misclick. You can see now it's running nice and smooth. There's 30 ammo to go in there and 10 more on me. 10 for each of the last 2 turrets I have. So, what I'm going to do here is I want to place another boiler there. So while this is running, I have my spare boiler. I'm going to pick that up. I'm just going to kill my power production. Luckily, turrets don't require power. You can see that's good. Then I want a piece of pipe so I can interconnect all my bits, and then I'm going to run a tiny length of pipe out so that I don't have to worry about expanding. Put my steam engine back down. So now I want 5 more steam engines, and I'm going to make an additional mass of boilers, or mess, and have a quick collection of raw materials. I'm going to make 2 more mining drills to fill in the gaps I have. So that's going to go over there, and I need, of course, an offshore pump. The pump needs more steel plate. I'm going to pick up a bunch of those. So the next issue is that I need to figure out this is essentially how these are going to be placed. So as you can see, my production is keeping pace barely with my consumption. That means in terms of materials, I'm should probably have looked at getting that sort of ready in a slightly different order, but so what I want to do now is I want to expand my power generation, since I have actually my turrets are ready, so I can take 10 more there. Place 10 there, and then I have plenty left to put down my last 2 turrets that I'm just going to put around the back here. There's 10 in there, and there's 10 in there, and that should be plenty of turrets to keep me safe as I finish up this bit. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to put in, well, I won't put, actually I'll pick up that pipe quickly. I'll put in another couple of pumps. And I've essentially got one left over. So the way I'm going to run these pumps is quite simple. I can make 2 more boilers. That actually works out perfectly. So then I need a mass of piping to stitch them all together. So that's not bad. And mass more of those. So actually before I do anything further, I need a couple of more steam engines, which I forgot to put down. So I'm going to pick up that one, to put down my last one. That'll do. And so I have a mass of copper, mass of that. I'm making a lot more engines. And those. So before I start powering that, where is all my pipe? Oh, I'll be after these. I assume I'm going to cancel those. Because I do actually need the piping to finish this section. What I'm going to do is, unfortunately, both of these run out there. So, and I can't place that one up here. I cannot replace one up there. So, the way I'm going to do this is that's going to run down there. This is going to run in there. And that last bit will provide the needed plumbing to there, and then get some more of this, turn that in there, and that bit. Now, to heat this water, I'm gonna just simply chuck it in all the boilers. As you can see, water temperature is rising quite rapidly, and I'll place a second set across there. Those can go there, and then just to fill that bit in. And there. And now I have a massive boost in production. You can see I'm consuming 600 and my production is quite heavily outpacing it. So I'm going to make 4 more of those. And a minor set of pipes. So all of this is getting run through these boilers. And of course, it helps if you plumb everything up. So I'm vastly overproducing in terms of power. My turrets are holding up nicely. And I have a mess of other raw materials, so I'm going to build 15 radar dishes. And all of these aren't even running. So as you can see, I've 1 boiler at each end. That's more or less all that's generating most of my responsible for heating the water that I'm pumping into my system. So while these are building, well, I'm gonna stand here and do nothing until all my things are bit, and I'll see you in a second while I speed through that. Now, while I wait for the last couple of radar dishes to build, I'm going to start my radar dish farm over here. And that should do me once the last set comes out. 3, 2, 1, and those are finished. So they're all, I believe, connected. And then the last thing is just to power them up and watch as they scan. And that should be me finished for this section. A couple of biters. At least we got through that in a relatively clean pace. How are my sectors being scanned? Let's see, how's my power demand? So my production is just below my consumption. Probably means I need to build a couple more steam engines and just tack them on at the end. Cancel those. I want to build 2 of those and then some of those, and So up to 30. And it'll start popping out in a second. Not that I actually think I'll have time to make use of them. There we go. 45. Oh, it was badly placed of me. I'm finished. Aside from not actually being able to power all my steam engines. It took 32 minutes, not too bad. So that is the end of the demo campaign. So join me next time when I start on A New Hope. See you next time, folks. Bye.